And when he started, what I want to say is that I felt that the thing that we felt the second he walked into our office was how much he wanted to teach all of us young people the way of indie film. And just how much he was excited about having all of us to like influence and make fun of and all of that. I mean, it was like the day that these two young, like just totally newly promoted Paradigm agents came over. They were like 23 years old, and they're sitting in the room and Bingham sits into the meeting because he wanted to see how these young chipper agents are working. And this young agent starts telling us about how one of her clients is great. He's in this movie. You might know him. He did Blow with Johnny Depp. And Bingham screams out, "Who hasn't?" And these people these court agents were totally freaked out and didn't really know what was going on. We thought it was hilarious. Or the day that the wonderful Dan Cohen started at our office. Young, eager Dan Cohen who sends an email to the entire company, every single person in the company, saying, "Hi, I'm Dan, I'm so excited to work here, I can't wait, I just can't wait to learn from everyone and make the magic of movies," and Bingham replies all, "Fuck you, Dan." Bingham and I butted heads a lot, but he was amazing to all of us, like Sasha and Mark, Dan, myself, and like the first Toronto I went to with Bingham, he took me around all day, introduced me to every single person that he saw, and just felt like this pride of kind of showing off his young people to everybody, and it was amazing. I mean, one day he made Sasha a list of like the 40 movies that were obligatory that she watched to work for him. He was one of the most powerful people in my career, and I think everybody who worked with him, at least our company, for sure, everybody in this room, I think, but I will always take away his complete, love of making sure we knew what was up. That's all.
Clearly influenced by Bingham. So any wordsmiths in the house like Manila Dargis? No. Oh, you can slam our movies, but you can't get up here and slam Bingham? No, come on. Who? Cassian, did you have something to say? You are beaten to the punch.
Sorry, Cassian. Introduce yourself if you need to. Rebecca Yeldon. Met Bingham right around the moment I met Cassian. I met Chris. And no slight to you gentlemen, but I was probably 26. And Bingham was one of the first of the elder statesmen established purveyors of independent film, passionate, successful people in the world that I was in, that said to the next generation, like, I'm interested in you, I'm interested in your opinion, and I want to hear what you have to say. And for me as a 26-year-old young woman, that was incredibly impactful. And it was with Bingham, and I know there's a number of us here that are of my generation, which was not Bingham's generation, who felt that way. He nurtured us, he mentored us, he made us feel like we were worthy of having a seat at the table. And that was incredible. It was incredibly meaningful, and it was never skanky. As a young woman, I have to say, sometimes it was a little skanky. But with Bingham, he recognized passion. He recognized that we loved the movies, that we felt about them, that we cared about them, we wanted to make them, we wanted to support them, and he wanted to have dinner with us. And that was incredibly meaningful. You know, as a 25, 6-year-old person, that was incredibly meaningful. And I I want to say to his daughters and his family, I hope you meet a mentor in your life like we had in Bingham, because I can say for myself, he was with me every step of the way. And there were times where he rated us more highly than we rated ourselves. Like he would say to me, "A superstar Yeldon," in moments where I could feel that. And everyone needs a cheerleader, and Bingham was our cheerleader, and I think he channeled and felt the truth of people. And when we were true and we were passionate, Bingham was with us. And when we fucked up, he would tell us. And when we erred or we were seduced by things that were irrelevant or fictitious, he called it. And I will always love him for that. And he was a very, very dear friend. And I know he was that way to many of us. And my only sadness is we didn't know his other family, many of us, and his filmmaker family. And but he gave so much to so many.
Cassie? Slow your blow.
I've been thinking, my name's Linda Lichter, and this death of my friend Bingham has hit me incredibly hard. Bingham was my friend, my client, my buddy for 28 years. I met him first when he worked at Avenue, and I had been involved, you know, the independent movement started probably in 1976, 1977. I'm older than a lot of you guys, and I had started working on a lot of those movies, and I had this movie that this client of mine had made. She raised the money for the movie in $5,000 increments at house parties all over the country. She was a lesbian, and it was the first lesbian movie where somebody didn't die or have to go straight at the end. And it was a beautiful movie, and Bingham saw it and fell in love with it and bought it, and that's how I met Bingham, because he believed in this movie, and it turned out actually to be kind of a minor hit for Avenue, a movie called Desert Hearts. I don't know if and you know, he's still friends with Donna Deach, who made that movie. And we became friends, and he asked me to represent him then, and I have been involved with him over all of the ups and downs in all of his career. You know, we were very close friends, and he would, you know, he's a very strong guy, and he had a very strong point of view, and a lot of you guys know him as kind of a tough guy. But I knew him as a very vulnerable person, because when he would talk to me, he would tell me about his problems. And he would, you know, complain, and I'm sure he complained to a lot of people, but he would also tell me what was really going on. And, you know, he had a wife who he loved madly, and he had me who he could tell his problems to. And I felt very protective of him. I felt like this was a guy who had a, you know, the sort of classic American thing, you know, this hard surface and a very soft underside. And that we all had, you know, and I just pulled all the Mother Teresa instincts on me. And, you know, and he had ups and downs, and, you know, when I met Jeff Lipsky at about a little later than that, and I helped them sort of think about how to put together October, and it went in October, and then it turned into kind of a mess there, and then it became USA, and, you know, there were all these issues all the way along. And I don't really have stories to tell, except that I felt like I went through every step of that career, and, you know, quite intimately. And then about 2005, when he had been out of UA and was kind of in the dumps and really didn't know what to do, I said, let's, you and I, I put together money for a company. And we came up with a name, Factory Films, and we put together a business plan, and Pat Murray helped us, his old friend from Avenue, and we went out, and it was really fun, because we could just imagine everything that it could be if we could just have a movie, have a company where we had our own money, we could do anything we wanted, and we could think of all these movies that he was crazy about. And of course, the economy wasn't good enough to really support a startup company at that point, so we had to take a job. Okay, so Kimmel and this and that, this and that. And then I knew that he left Kimmel and he was kind of working part-time and he needed a job. And I saw my friend Jen Chaikin at Toronto, and she said, we've lost the director of the San Francisco Film Festival, and we need a director. And I said, this is the guy. This is the perfect guy. This is the perfect job for him. It was like the perfect job. And she said, no. I said, no, this is the guy. And so he called me and said, they called me. And so over the next couple of weeks, he would say, Nancy really wants this job. I can't blow this job. But how much money can you get? I had a meeting with them. They loved me. The next call was, I had a meeting with them. They hated me. I had a meeting. They loved me. Am I going to get the job? Am I not going to get it? What if I ask for another $10,000? No. Yeah. So we went back and forth. Finally got that job, and I'm so happy for him because it just seemed like the perfect job. And then I saw him in December, and he was ecstatic. He complained, this. He said to me, they come in at 10 o'clock, they leave at 5. They're just not like a real company. We're gonna have to make them into a real company. He said they're investing in these movies, and the movies all have these crazy titles. They're just not. If I was a distributor, I would never pick up movies with these titles. Why would they invest in titles? It's like, well, like what, Bingham? He said, well, like Beasts of the Southern Wild. I said, that's my movie. Shut up. It's a great title. Look, I was talking to my daughter who went to the memorial with me, who had met Bingham, and Bingham was very kind to him. I got kind to her, and I said, I don't understand what it is, what my connection was to him. Why? Because I'm thinking quite a bit about him, as we all have. And she said, well, the thing is that Bingham said whatever came into his head, and so do you. And so, this is a guy. This has really kind of shook me more maybe about what is important to us in the business, who's important to us, why we do this, and how one person can make a difference. And this was a guy who throughout his career supported filmmakers who were different, supported young people who needed a break, created a sense of community. We all need to continue that tradition. I think Ann Thompson wrote something saying, we all need to make a commitment to picking up pictures that are unusual and different and supporting maverick filmmakers. We lost somebody very important to us, very important to me, very important to us. But the only positive thing we can get from it is that we have to be inspired to continue the work that he started, and keep us together as a community. There's a lot of things that pull us apart, and there are things that really bring us together. The love of our work, the love of the movies, the belief that this matters in the world. And I want just to say that that's the message that